everybody, yes, who was waiting, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us today. Welcome to Lone Star College, our first orientation dedicated to Lone Stars, foster care, and adopted students. This orientation will provide you with a valuable information for a smooth transition into college. You will meet our dedicated Lone Star Navigators, who will be supporting you in a successful completion of your educational goals. Okay, next we have our icebreaker with Ms. Reina. Go ahead, Ms. Reina.
Thank you. Let me get back to where we are. All right, everyone. So before we get started with the icebreaker, just want to make sure everybody knows how to navigate Zoom. So we put a little screenshot of how you can raise your hand, how you can, give us thumbs up. So if you need to speak and you want to share your icebreaker, just raise your hand and let us know. So the icebreaker we have, there's going to be prizes, guys. So please participate. We will be sending you the sign-in link so that you can all go ahead and sign in so that we can collect your information to make sure everybody, gets entered for prizes. So our icebreaker is, if you could be anything you want to be, regardless of your circumstances, what would that be? Dream big. There are no barriers. So on the chat, if you can click on the chat and you can either type your answers on the chat, or you can raise your hand and just let us know. We can unmute you to talk. So if I could be anything I wanted and there are nothing stopping me from, you guys want to say Islam, but I always wanted to be an instructor. Because when I was young and going through life problems, my professors made me feel like I was someone important and that I matter. So, it just reminds me of how important my elementary teacher was to me. So I didn't get to be an elementary teacher, but I am here in a community college working and helping students. So it is just as good as that for me. So anyone like to share, what would you be if there was no limitations? I don't see any raised hands, guys. No one?
Come on, anyone, any of the students. Is there anything in chat?
Since it's an eye break, who was that?
I think the Vice President was John.
Vice President of the United States?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Drew, what would you be if there was no limitations and you could do anything you want?
Actually, I kind of already done that. I was a teacher for 15 years. So the only thing I would ask for is a better pay for teachers. But yeah, I love teaching. And yeah, I think that was my biggest dream.
That's very good. Okay, so I know we are tight today, so I understand it's okay. But if anyone wants to type it on the chat, go ahead, that's okay.
We do have Erica Herrera who submitted a chat. She put on there to work for the United Nations as an interpreter in different languages.
That's amazing.
Awesome, Erica.
Great one. Yes.
Yes. And then from Dominique Bledsoe, we have that she wants to be a youth advocate.
Oh, I like that. For some reason, I can't see the chat. I don't know what's wrong with mine.
And then the last one we have is from Jacob Garcia. Anything to do with accounting.
Oh, numbers person.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, guys, and feel free to put them on your chat too if you want to. So what I'm gonna do at this moment, I'm gonna copy paste on the chat a link. If everyone can go ahead and can you see the link I posted in there? I'm having problems with my chat.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if all students can go and sign in, that's how we're gonna be able to enter your names and information to the prices. Okay, so go ahead, sign in. Make sure, remember, if you don't sign in into that sheet, you will not be entered for prices. So please, 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 just click on it. It's basic information, your name, your email, phone numbers. And then we can go ahead and enter you for our rifles, okay? So Miss Annabelle, if you want to continue.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Reina. Okay, this is an overview today that will include an introduction to the LSC Navigator program. We will visit and learn more on what is available on the Lone Star Navigators webpage. Our special guest is from Health and Human Services and will provide an overview of the ETV program. You will also hear from our financial aid and academic advisors who will provide an overview of the services available to you. We also invited a special guest as a student, a former foster care student. She will share her amazing story that will inspire us all. And then at the conclusion of the presentation, you will hear from our new foster care system liaison, Mr. Garth Howard, sharing a few words and our closing statements. Okay. Here, during this section here, the open mic, this is your chance to ask any questions. And you may also submit your questions in the chat at any time. And you will see the chat also at the bottom. It's either at the bottom or the top. Mine is in the top. At any time, you can just submit your questions there, please.
Mine's at the bottom, and I finally figured out how to make it work.
All right, and so at the end, we're going to address all the questions during the open mic session. You will be called, your name will be called when it's your time, but make sure that you go to the reactions tool to raise your hand. There is an option there to raise your hand. And then after you ask your question, please make sure that you lower your hand, okay? This session was planned today with only you in mind. Hope you will walk away feeling much better knowing that we're all here to help you. The Lone Star Navigators mission is a college-wide network of support to assist students who grew up in the foster or adoptive care or are homeless to achieve their educational success. Let's meet our Navigator advisors. So each campus has been assigned one or two wonderful advisors to work with foster care students. They're dedicated and truly excited in the work they do to help you succeed. You may now take a picture of your home campus advisor, and you can add this contact to your cell phone for later use. It will come in handy when something comes up. And believe me, something will come up. Okay, so we have your advisor at Site Fair is Miss Evelyn Flores. At Houston North, we have Vanessa Nguyen. From Kingwood, we have Victoria Southworth. From Montgomery, we have Marie Thibodeau. From North Harris, we have Raina Tibbetts and Jean Zelestein. From Tomball, we have Mitzi Faulkner. And from University Park, we have Constance Sheldon and Monique Wilkes. In the fall, we're also planning to assign your advisor in your My Lone Star account for easy access. So you will have this available in your My Lone Star portal, okay? Now let's meet your financial aid advisors. Each campus has also been assigned one amazing financial aid expert to work with you. They are committed to helping you navigate through the complicated Fafsa process. This is another screen that you may want to take a picture to add to your contacts. It will come in handy when you're completing your Fafsa and or scholarship applications. Okay, and we have Miss India Powell from Site Fair, Sheila Stedham from Houston North, Deborah Gonzalez from Kingwood, Natalie Villano from Montgomery, Krista Tyler Ray from North Harris, Kaylin Voss from Tomball, and Gabriel Yanis Gomez from University Park. Okay, now let's meet our system office navigators. Our new state liaison for foster care and adopted students is Mr. Garth Howard, who will be speaking later in the presentation. Mr. Garth is our new Associate Vice Chancellor of Student Success. And that's me on the right. I am the new coordinator for foster care. And we're delighted and looking forward to working with you all. Okay, now we're going to review our website. So I'm going to stop sharing here and go into, where am I sharing? Here's the website. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Sorry about the delay. Okay, this is a foster care navigators website. Can you see that? Can you see my screen? Good. Okay. All right. So here we have all the information for our navigators, and you will find the latest information here. The state exemption information you will find here. These are the forms that you will that will be required for you to submit, and these are the two forms that you will need to submit a week before the semester term begins. So a week before fall semester, you will have to submit both of these completed forms. Okay. The business office, you can click on here to see who your campus contact is. And that's who you're going to be submitting the two forms. And at any time, if you need any help, the advisors will help you with that process, okay? And at the bottom here, we have, again, your contacts. These are all your navigators from all the campuses. A few of the, let's see, on the right-hand side here, we have our email also, our general email, and here's some helpful links. Community resources, you can find some of our community resources such as the Texas Workforce, the Hay Center too, that they're very helpful. Just any resources that you need in the community are provided for you there, okay? Lone Star resources, you can find here the disability services information and also the communities and schools. I think I passed up. No, communities and schools. Yeah, here they are. So each of the campuses contacts, you can also obtain them from here. They offer resources in the community that can help you anytime you need assistance as well. And then I just want to go over this website. This is also a very helpful website. It has information about how to obtain help with food, clothing, mental health, employment. So any resources that you may need, they're provided here on this website, okay? And at any time you have any questions, you can just send us an email. If you don't find something there that you're looking for, more than welcome to do that, okay? Now let's share, go back here. Okay, and so let's see. Okay, next we have the Texas Education and Training Voucher. It's a federal benefit that can provide current and former foster youth with funding, help with funding to help cover expenses while attending post-secondary schools. The ETV presentation will define ETV, clarify ETV eligibility requirements, explain the ETV application process, and provide additional information about post-secondary resources. Drew Melton has been with BCFS for almost 4 years. He spent 3 years working as a case manager before moving to ETV specialist position. Please welcome Mr. Drew Melton.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Just a little bit about myself before I get started. I know that I already kind of let you know that I was a teacher for about 15 years. And the reason why that was like a big thing for me was I just grew up in an area where not many people made it out. And that was a big accomplishment to get out. But of course, I wouldn't have made it out if I didn't have help from others, meaning people in the community and programs that help me through the process. So I'm here to tell you about a program and a benefit that might help you overcome your obstacles. So hopefully we can do that. And the name of this benefit is the Education and Training Voucher, or ETV. You'll hear us call it ETV all the time. It is a federal need-based benefit, and it's for students coming from foster care. So basically, when I say need-based, students do have to exhibit a need in order to acquire funding from ETV, but we'll kind of get into that as we go along. So eligible students can receive up to $12,000 per school year. This is a disclaimer. This will be for the upcoming school year, the 21-22 school year. Funding used to be, the maximum amount used to be $5,000. It's now $12,000. That's due to COVID, and we only have guidance up until the end of this year. So it's a really great time to get ETV funding because you have a chance to get more than usual. Right now, all funding first goes towards any housing or utility priorities that you have. So it can help pay for your rent. It can help pay for your light bill. If you do have any tuitions or fees that weren't covered by the tuition and fee waiver, that funding would go towards that first. And then anything left over goes directly to you. So you can use those funds for personal living expenses, childcare, books and school supplies. Most of our students will buy a computer or a laptop at some point within their ETV funding. You can also use these funds for transportation, meaning you can buy a bus pass, you can buy a bicycle. If you already have a car, you can use it for your car maintenance, car insurance, car registration, things like that. Unfortunately, the government doesn't actually allow you to purchase a vehicle with the funding. That's just because a lot of students get into trouble. They might buy a lemon and that funding is gone. That car doesn't work and their funding is gone. So just keep that in mind. You cannot buy a car with it, but you can use it if you already have a car. You can use it for your car maintenance and things like that. So if you're wondering how, if you're eligible or not, you would need to be at least 16 years old through the age of 24 years old. Now that 24-year-old age limit is also changed due to COVID, and we only have guidance through the end of next school or this coming school year. It may go back down to its previous age of 23, or it may stay the same, could go up, we just don't know. So right now, you can get it up until the age of 24, and you would have to have either aged out of foster care, you would have to currently be in foster care, or you would have to be adopted after turning 16. ETV is only good for a total of 15 semesters. So when we get into it a little bit more, you kind of want to be careful of how you're using your ETV. And I'll let you know that a little bit more about that a little later on. If you are unsure if you qualify for ETV funding, this is the person you want to contact. This is the Preparation for Adult Living Coordinator for your region. If you want to go ahead and take down that number and that email address, I'll also have it at the end of this presentation, but that's who you want to contact to find out if you're eligible. Okay, so ETV can help for students that are taking dual credits in high school. So if you have any friends or relatives that are taking dual credits in high school and they might be eligible for ETV, definitely let them know about this benefit and we can see if they're eligible. Once you graduate high school and you enter a degree program, you do need to be taking at least 6 semester hours in order to qualify, but ETV is a federal benefit and you can use it for most schools around the nation as long as they've been in business and accredited for at least 2 years. And with Lone Star College, you're able to use your tuition waiver and ETV. So the first step in applying for ETV is to go to our website at texasetv.com. You're going to find applications there. There'll be online versions and downloadable. Of course, we suggest that you go ahead and fill it out online. That way we get it instantaneously once you submit it. There's also important dates. You'll see some of the deadlines on our website. You'll see some of the other needed documents that you'll need to submit along with your application. And really important, there's on your application, there's spaces for you to add trusted adults that may be helping you through the process of applying. I know as a former case manager, I helped a lot of students with the ETV process. So if you have any trusted adults, possibly your counselors, possibly your case manager, you can add them to the application. That way they can help you through the process. And then if you ever have any questions while you're on our website and you're on our website during business hours, you can use our chat feature. That way you can get real-time answers to any questions that you have. So here are some of the application deadlines. For the summer, we are wrapping up the 2021 school year on at the end of this month. For the fall semester, the deadline is October 1st. Just keep in mind that if you think you may have missed the deadline, go ahead and apply anyway, and we'll let you know whether you've missed a deadline or not, because we always have extensions. It is a suggestion that you go ahead and get that application in as soon as possible, because it takes, once you get the application in, that's just the beginning of the process. You also have other documents that you need to submit, and the sooner you get all that stuff in, the quicker we can get you funded. So along with the application, you are going to have to turn in some other documentation. It is on a case-by-case basis, depending on your situation, but here's kind of a core list of what you'll need to submit. Of course, it'll be that initial application. You also need your DFPS verification of eligibility. That's what lets us know that you're eligible for ETV funding. And then you'll also need to submit a copy of your tuition and fee waiver. And you can obtain both of these from your DFPS caseworker or the preparation for adult living coordinator in your region, Alina Jones. And like I said, I'll have her information again at the end. Once you have those things in, you also need to submit your financial aid award letter, a class schedule showing that you're taking at least 6 semester hours, and then the budget worksheet and the request of funds forms can both be found on our website at texasetv.com. There are also examples of those forms on our website. So if you have any questions about them, you can always refer to the examples. And then definitely you can always call me. I'll have my information at the end of this presentation. If you need help through this process, I can definitely assist you as well. We just moved to direct deposit. So you do need to have a checking account in order to access ETV funding. We used to issue checks, but we changed that this year. We've had a lot of changes within the last year, and this is one of them. So make sure that you have a checking account in your name, and you'll need to submit that direct deposit form. So this is one of the documents that you'll need to submit, a class schedule. What our coordinators want to see is that you're taking at least 6 semester hours. So let's say this student submitted this class schedule. It has everything that our coordinators need, but this student is only taking 5 credit hours. Our coordinators are really great about working with you to make sure that you become eligible if you're not already. So our coordinators wouldn't just see this class schedule and say, oh, they don't qualify and put it to the side. They're going to work with you to make sure that you can become eligible if at all possible. So one of the documents is the budget worksheet. This you can find on our website at texasetv.com. Now, I know this is a lot of information, but like I said, there are people here to help you with this paperwork, and don't stress out too much about it. I know you're going to have a big load coming here in the fall. So the budget worksheet is not set in stone. This is going to be a plan for how you plan to use your ETV funding. It shouldn't include any other forms of income, no part-time jobs, no scholarships, grants, work study, only what you want to spend your ETV funding on. And then you always want to budget for the semesters that you apply for on the application. So if you applied for fall, spring, and summer, you want to make sure you budget for those semesters. And then for the students that may be still in foster care or in extended care, you cannot budget for any living expenses. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can always contact me. So here's an example of the budget worksheet. This budget worksheet was filled out for a student that was receiving funding before the changes. So on your budget worksheets, you'll be asking for $6,000 a semester if you're attending 2 semesters, and $4,000 a semester if you're attending all 3 semesters. And the total should be $12,000. But as you can see, the budget worksheet is not really super complicated. The numbers are rounded off. They're not down to the penny. And it's, like I said, it's just the estimate of what you want to spend your funding on or what you will be spending your funding on. And you can always go back and update your budget worksheet. We know things change throughout the course of a school year, so you can always go back and update it. So the next document that you'll find on our website is the request of funds form. And this is for students. This is basically to tell our coordinators where we're sending the funding to, what the funds are for, and who we're sending them to. So if you're requesting funds for any housing, like if you're asking for funding to help pay your rent, you'll also need to submit the first and last page of your lease. And then if you're living somewhere, maybe off campus and with a friend or a relative, and you're not paying any rent, you will have to submit, or you're not on the lease, you will have to submit a renting together contract, and that form is also on our website. If you do have to fill one of those out, just contact me and I can help you through it. Also, if you're requesting funds for a utility bill, you'll need to provide a copy of your a utility bill. And then for students that may be out of care and all of that funding is to you, any students over 21 will be doing a release of funds directly to themselves. So all the funding will go to you. Once students turn 21, we expect you to be able to go ahead and pay your rent by yourself, and that funding will go directly to you. So as you can see, the request form here, the request of funds form here, it kind of looks like the budget worksheet. So you just plug those numbers in from your budget worksheet and put them here on the request of funds form. In this case, this student is asking for rent, and at the top, they put the name of the apartment complex that they're requesting from, and then the address of the apartment complex. And then at the bottom of the request of funds form, they just print their name, put their phone number, and you'll just take a picture and send that to our coordinators. You don't have to have like a fancy scanner or anything. You can send that straight through email with a picture or a screenshot. Just some things to keep in mind about ETV. ETV funding is not emergency funding, so you need to get that application in and all of your paperwork in as soon as possible in order to get funded towards the beginning of the semester rather than the end of the semester. Receipts are not required. We won't ask you for receipts. We haven't had many students that misappropriate funds because we know that you need these funds in order to make it easier for you while you're in school. So we won't ask for any receipts. The maximum of $12,000 is not guaranteed. You do have to exhibit a need. So keep that in mind when you're filling out your financial aid paperwork. And if you're offered any loans and you accept those loans, that may lower your need, which will in turn lower your ETV funding. And then if you only check that you're going to attend one semester on our application, you'll only be eligible for $4,000. So best practice is always to apply for at least 2 semesters on the ETV application. That way you can make sure that you're eligible for the full amount. So once you send your documents in, you may have questions for your coordinator. You may want to know where you are in the process. When calling your coordinator, these are just some things to keep in mind. Don't hang up. You have to leave a message. We have 4 coordinators for the entire state of Texas. So you can imagine how many applications and how much paperwork they get in every day. Leave a message. They usually don't answer their phone. The best way to contact them is through email. Even if they don't answer and you leave a message, they will get back to you within 2 business days. So just be patient, they will get back to you. And then make sure when you're leaving that message, you're speaking slowly and you're leaving your full name and any contact information. So these are some ways to set yourself up for success. First of all, get a free, reliable email account. I know that you're going to have an email account through Lone Star College, but you might want to use a free email account like Gmail or Yahoo, just because if anything happens and you transfer schools, we'll still have your information and we're able to get in contact with you. That's going to be the main way that our coordinators contact you. You'll get emails from me, you'll get emails from your coordinator. So you definitely want to keep track of that email. And then, of course, we just moved to direct deposit, so you're going to need that checking account. There are tons of free checking account, banks that offer free checking accounts, especially for students. So if you need to look into that, go ahead and look into that so we can get those funds to you and put it directly into your account. This is a map of the DFPS regions. And just keep in mind that there are transition centers in each region. And no matter where you are in the state of Texas or where you're from, you can go to any transition center around Texas. Your transition centers are where you're going to find your case manager. That's going to be the person that's going to connect you with all of your aftercare benefits. There are more than just these post-secondary benefits that you may be eligible for. So you definitely want to get in contact with the case manager. Transition centers also offer transportation assistance, housing assistance. There's always a Texas workforce advocate on site, as well as an education specialist. And I know the education specialist in your region is particularly good. So definitely want to get in contact with her, and she can also help you through the ETV process. There's also usually a computer lab. There's often a food pantry or a kitchen, so you can go in there and get something to eat. Sometimes it's just a great place to just go and hang out. They always have great activities. And then they also offer free parenting classes and free substance abuse counseling. So this is the transition center for your region. It's the Hay Center. And this will be the director of transition services. Her name is Mary Green. You can always contact her and she can connect you with the people you need to be connected with there at the Hay Center. This is the information for the ETV program. We're actually housed out of the San Antonio Transition Center. If you ever have any questions, you can dial that 877 number. It'll ask you for the region that you're in, which is Region 6. And you'll be transferred to the coordinator for your region. This is the coordinator for your region. Her name is Elizabeth Solis. She's really great. You can always contact her at either that number or that email. Again, it's probably best to email her and she will return that email within 2 business days. That's who you want to ask once you start the ETV process and you're wondering where you are in the process, that's who you want to go to find out where you are. This is the information for myself and Brandy Purswell. She's also an ETV specialist. You can definitely feel free to contact her as well. But like I said, I'm here to help you through this process. If you're not sure about your eligibility, or if you have any questions about the documents, definitely call me. I'll leave that up for a second if you want to get that contact information. And just another disclaimer, I'm usually a little bit more available than our coordinators. So definitely feel free to send me a text or call me, even an email. Anything is fine. I'll get back to you. So here's the preparation for adult living coordinator again for your region, Miss Alina Jones. You can contact her if you're unsure about your eligibility, or if you want to find out about any other benefits. Also, that's if you're not sure who your caseworker is or your case manager at the Hayes Center, you can contact her to help you get that tuition waiver and your verification of eligibility. And then Ms. Felicia Bennett Chambers is the education specialist for your region. That's definitely who you want to contact as well if you're trying to get that tuition waiver or that verification of eligibility. And your region actually has two education specialists. One is Felicia Bennett Chambers, and she covers Harris County. The other is Carrie Schroeder, and she covers all of the surrounding counties. And then here's your foster care ombudsman. This is for students that may be in extended care or are currently in foster care. This is a person that basically works outside of the Department of Family and Protective Services, and their best interest, they work in your best interest. They're here just in case you feel like you're being treated misfairly or your rights aren't being observed. You definitely want to contact them and they can work on that for you. For the students that will be accessing ETV this coming school year, you want to go ahead and join Remind. And all you have to do is send a text message at ETV21 to 81010. And basically on our Remind app, we're going to remind you about the deadlines for ETV. We'll remind you about the opening day for financial aid applications for the upcoming school year. We do trivia and we send out prizes on Remind. If you're going to be an ETV student, you definitely want to join Remind, and we'll get all of that information out. Also, all of the new changes, you'll be the first to know. We'll put them on our Remind app first. And then we'd also like to invite you to like our Facebook page. Same thing, you'll get all of the reminders here. You'll get current events, things that are happening with ETV. You'll have different freebies for students. We also do our trivia on Facebook. So it's definitely a good thing if you want to go ahead and like us. That way you get all of those alerts as well. So here are just a couple scholarships that are offered through DFPS. One is for freshmen and one is for upperclassmen. These are through DFPS and they're available when funding is available. Here are some resources for you. This is a list of all the educational specialists in the state. Also, any preparation for adult living coordinators, the transition centers all across the state, supervised independent living programs, and then Texas Youth Connection and College for All Texans are really great websites to find resources. Any questions about any of that?
Yes, I have a quick and I think I missed the little of the beginning part.
Okay, what's your question?
Cause I came in at 3:21. So I was just asking, but I guess if it says correct, it says do the ETV or whatever, or can you just send the PowerPoint so I can?
Yeah, I can definitely, I'll try to share, I'll actually share it in the chat.
Okay.
I wanted the second to last slide. I missed it.
Okay.
And we're
The
also
second to
gonna,
last slide with the websites, I can go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and upload that to the chat. The whole presentation, so any of those links you can have access to them.
Okay,
Is there a
thank you.
way I can get the slides too?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
thank you, Drew. I appreciate your presentation. And just to let everybody know also that we will be recording this session and placing it on our website. So you'll be able to have access to it as well, okay? Okay, our next presentation will offer just basic information about what it takes to complete a free application for federal student aid, which is another word for Fafsa. The foster care portion of the Fafsa will also be highlighted. India Powell is a financial aid advisor at Icebreaker College with over 10 years of experience at Lone Star. And Sheila Stedham is a financial aid advisor at Houston North with 10 years of service at Lone Star. So please welcome India and Sheila.
Hello, everyone. Give me an opportunity to share my screen.
Thank you, Sheila.
I'm glad you guys are here. Let me get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is show you a video tour of our financial aid website so that you can go there anytime you want to get questions answered about financial aid. Just about everything that you can ask is on the website. So here we go.
Not sure.
The Lone Star College website can lead to answers to all your financial aid related questions. Once you go to the Lone Star College website, you can click on the tile Apply for Financial Aid or the link Paying for Financial Aid, which I will click on now. The Paying for Financial Aid webpage has several financial aid related links and tiles. However, I'm going to select the financial aid link to take us to the financial aid webpage. The Lone Star College financial aid webpage has links and tiles that inform students about types of aid, SAP or satisfactory academic progress, verification, cost of attendance, consumer information, plus more. That includes a link to any required forms you may need. The page also includes dates and times for FAFSA and TAFSA information sessions. If for any reason you don't find the financial aid link or tile you're looking for, then click on Visit the Financial Aid Virtual Office. Select your Lone Star College Financial Aid Virtual Office, and someone will be there waiting to assist you.
Hello, how can we help you with today? Hello, how can we help you out today?
Okay, so at any time you can go there and view that website. Next, we're going to talk about what financial aid is. Financial aid is federal and state scholarships, grants, and loans intended to help students pay education-related expenses.
Where to go to
Such
begin
as-
with?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't working.
I'm sorry, somebody speaking? Okay. Such as tuition, books, and supplies. How do you get financial aid? You can potentially receive financial aid just by applying and completing the free application for federal student aid, or the Fafsa as we call it. Sorry. It's free to apply. Never ever pay anyone to complete your application for you. You need to apply every year beginning October 1st. What's required to complete the FAFSA? You'll need your social security number for yourself, your spouse, if you are married, and your parent if you are under age 24 and unmarried. Make sure the name you use on the FAFSA is exactly the same as the one on your social security card. And you want to put the same name on your college application. You will also need your birth date, your spouse's birth date if you're married, and your parents' birth date if you're unmarried and under the age of 24. You and your parent will need to create an FSA ID, which is a username and password used as your digital signature to sign your FAFSA. You will also need to create a list of top 10 colleges that you might want to attend. And don't forget to include Lone Star in that list. You'll need the school code, which is 011145. You'll also have to have a copy of both your and your parents' 2019 IRS income tax available. That is if you worked. And you'll want to have your spouses as well if you're married. You will also need to have any money that you have on hand, like in your checking or savings, for both you and your parent and your spouse if you're married or under the age of 24. Take your time and don't rush completing this application. It can be your ticket to paying for college and possibly free. And also don't forget that you will complete this application every October. So make sure you take your time in doing so. All right, next we're going to have India complete the rest.
All right, good. Thank you. Thank you again, guys, so much for joining us. We appreciate that. This next particular slide, it talks about how do you identify yourself on the FAFSA. This is a very, very critical, these next questions. When you're filling out your FAFSA, there are several questions that you would need to pay very close attention to. It's really important. These questions will help you to identify yourself as having been a person in foster care to determine if you're required to provide your parents' information. We get it all the time. Students are asked, do I have to provide it or do I not? So please, please make sure that you pay close attention to these questions. This is a continuation of that. The questions actually is from question 52 to 57. I'm going to go back, Sheila.
Yeah, I'll go back. Sorry about that.
Okay, good. Yeah, when you start asking these questions, and they're very clear on the FAFSA when you see those, but if you're not sure, when you reach these questions, If you're not sure how to enter them, please feel free to reach out to your campus coordinator, myself, or the ones that will be listed at the end of this presentation. But when you're reading them, just make sure you're reading them very, very closely as far as what questions and what they're asking for, okay? All right, this next one is just giving you a list of the different financial aid navigators contact information. I was given at the beginning of this presentation, but Michelle is putting them on the screen now as well. My name is Ms. India Powell. I'm at the Cy-Fair campus, but I do also work at the branch campus, the Cypress Center. That's the one on Clay and Fry as well. I'm usually there on Wednesdays, and the rest of the days I'm at the main campus. But please feel free to branch out. We have 7 different campuses: Cy-Fair, Lone Star, Houston North. We have Kingwood, Montgomery, North Harris, Tomball, and of course, University Park. And this is a list of all the different contacts for the financial aid advisors. The best way to reach me, honestly, is through email. I do check my emails every day. Even on weekends, I'll check them when I'm normally looking. So if you happen to get a contact with me, send me an email, and I definitely will respond to it that way. There are the follow-up information I want to also bring to your attention. One of the things I want to really make sure I emphasize is that when you correspond, make sure you correspond from your Long Star email. When you apply for admissions, everyone should have a Long Star email. Many times when you send correspondence from your personal email, it may go to spam, and it may take several days before you actually do receive them. Continue to monitor your to-do list. That's really important when you're looking at your My Long Star portal. If you have any other financial aid questions, please feel free to reach out to the navigators. You can email us. Also, phone callers, that's fine. In the fall, thank God, we're going to be coming back full time, so we'll be available and more than just online. Also, you can go online if you choose to do so. We have other means for students to contact us, and many students are not aware that we do have a virtual financial aid office. Just like we have the virtual here, when you go in the virtual, you can actually talk to someone in a private line on a one-on-one. Many students use that, and we find that it's very, very helpful. Also, we have a contact center. You can also call them as well. The number is 281-290-2700. And that's also posted on our website. So you can see this information on the financial aid as well. And of course, we have an FACC email. Now, that might take a little bit longer if you email something, but many times students that email things through that, we do monitor that. It is a secure email, so your documentation and everything is secure. We do encourage you, though, that if you could meet with one of the financial aid officers, do so, and we can help you upload any documents you have to do so in terms of verification or applying for FAFSA. The next slide, the next one, it's really, those are some really good links. These are links, the helpful links to about foster care students. Again, if you want to take a picture of it, if not, I do know that the slideshow will be available so you can take a look at it and take advantage of these. They have very good information. It's a lot, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but honestly, I think it's worth doing just to take a look at them and review it and familiar yourself with certain things of it. All righty, we had it short and sweet. Now, we do have some questions at the end of the presentation, so I'm hoping that while you were looking, that you were making mental notes or writing them down. And then once you were done, if you do have questions, we'd be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sheila and Ms. India. I appreciate that, all that information. Next, we have the presentation from our advisors. They will show you how to connect, how they connect with students with resources, both on campus and off campus. They will provide guidance, assist with ETV application and tuition waiver process. We will have Raina Tippett. She has been an academic advisor for 3 years, but overall has worked at Lone Star North Harris for 23 years. And Ms. Jean Celestine is an academic advisor at North Harris as well, with 4 years of service at Lone Star. So please welcome Ms. Jeannie and Ms. Reyna.
Miss Rena, you want to go first or should I go first?
Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for having all of you. We're just super excited that you were able to make it. I know it's a little bit of a challenge for the past 2 years, but to be able to do this and give you this information is so critical to all of you. Very funny, I was actually looking at my name and I didn't realize that I was there. That was my name changed to my Zoom. So I couldn't figure out that it was somebody else on there. But again, my name is Jean Celestine Lakin. I'm here on North Harris campus. We have an organization, student organization. It's called SAFE. So Secure Education and Faster Education for Foster and Adopted Students. We have a few students in that organization who haven't been able to meet on our campus. But one of the things that we really want to share with you, Ms. Rena and I, we are your campus advisors. So anytime you come on North Harris campus, you can always ask for academic advisor or ask for navigators. Usually I know that it's so hard for you guys to identify, and that's okay. But if you let the front desk personnel know that you are, whether you've been adopted or you've been in foster care, you've been, either in CPS custody, it's an easy way for them to connect you with us. And again, as Ms. Hernandez mentioned, we have on every campus, you're going to have academic advisor or navigator advisor to assist you, to guide you through all of these things. And I also know that, like Mr. Melton mentioned, that, a lot of time, this information is a lot, but you have a great team of people who are here to support you in your academic journey. Whether you feel like your question might not be, a lot of times I get my high school students especially go, well, I have a stupid question. There's never a stupid question. There's always a valid question. And if we don't have answers for those questions that you might come up with, we're going to connect you with those resources. So again, I didn't even create a PowerPoint because I feel like, all of this information might be overwhelming, but let me keep it simple. When you come to myself and Ms. Rena or any other advisor on their campus, what we're going to do is basically identify whether you have your tuition waiver, whether you have it in hand, whether you have it in your email, and also we'll give you, or if you have been able to apply for ETV, like Mr. Melton mentioned as well, it's something that they can help you with, but we'd also have every single one of the advisors on campus that will be able to help you process that application. We provide you all the information, internal information, obviously your financial aid, your grades as well for that semester that you submit that whole package for. If you come in without having, or even not knowing that you've been issued this tuition waiver, they mentioned that these, CPS or social worker, we can connect you with the social workers. A lot of times we work with these social workers, so we are connected. If you send them an email and they don't reply to you, and you're looking for your tuition waiver, or you want to figure out whether you have you are eligible for ETV, you can copy your academic advisor or your navigator advisor on that email, or you can come and sit in. We're not sitting in our offices with our students now, but we can also have a phone call while you are with us, so that way we know that you're leaving. A lot of times it's not comfortable to leave a stranger name, a voicemail, but we can help you do that as well. So again, I don't want to give you too much information, but just know that we can not only can we connect you, guide you in terms of on your academic journey, but also connect you with resources outside of school. We'd also be able to help you with your ETV application, as well as processing your tuition waiver with the business office. If you come on campus and you have no idea where to send your tuition waiver, Serena and I, we've done this so many times. We'll walk you there to the business office and have that processed. So it's not very complicated. We just want you to know that we are here. We want you to trust us, that we have your best interest, that we want you to graduate. There's 3% of children who have lived in foster care who attempt to get on college, and our goal is to change that. We want to make sure that that number goes 10%, 20%, at some point, hopefully 100%, that we are here to guide you. We are here to connect you with the resources that is needed. So Ms. Rena, go ahead and take it over.
Thank you, John. I mean, you pretty much covered everything that we need to cover. So guys, just like Ms. John say, you know, we're here to help you. We're here to walk you through your pathway through Lone Star College. I'm sorry, I was trying to share my screen, but it won't let me for some reason. All right, so it doesn't cooperate, so I won't share. I wanna enter a link on the chat. So this link is gonna take you to our Lone Star website in case you ever had to come to campus or want to go to campus to see an advisor. You can go in there and look at all our locations, know our hours of operation and where we are located at the campus. So hopefully that helps you to navigate where you need to go depending on which campus is the closest to you. Like Ms. Young said, you know, we are here to help you, to support you, to connect you to the resources we have. We have amazing counselors that can help you if, you know, maybe you're waiting for your funds to come and you need help now. So we can go ahead and find help, at least connect you to the correct person. Another thing I do want to mention is you're a brand new student, make sure to have copy your high school transcripts if you have not sent them yet, so that we can start looking at those transcripts and see if we can help you with registration yet, or if you need to take an exam. There is a different steps you're gonna have to follow as you're a brand new student. If you're a returning student, just come see us. Let's see where you left out and let's pick it up from there. And like Ms. John said, at the end of the day, our goal is to see you walk the stage, to make sure you graduate, to be there cheering you. Right now, I am super excited because we're gonna have in-person graduation back. So let's all pray or knock on wood or, you know, whatever you believe in, ask for it so that this can continue. We are just excited to be here and that you are here. So we are here waiting for you to come and ask us whatever questions you have. Ms. John and I are at the North Harris campus, and everybody here in advising knows that it's just tell them, you know, I have a waiver, or, you know, if you are feeling okay to say I'm an adopted foster kid, just let them know and they'll connect you to us. Okay, at the front desk, you don't even have to go into further than that. Just let them know I have a waiver and I'm a foster adopter, I need help. They'll connect you to us. So we are here wherever you guys need. And since I've been bombarding you with the messages, this is the last reminder to sign in so that you can be entered to the prizes. Only 9 people have signed in. So if you don't sign in through the link I put on the chat earlier, you will not be entered for prizes. Again, guys, we are just excited that you are here and waiting for you to come and see us or contact us, email us, call us, and see what we can do for you, okay?
Miss Rena, I wanted to add one other thing too. Sometimes you come on campus and you don't have, you know, those things like, you know, the basic necessities. Guess what? Miss Rena and I, we have, our office are stocked with, you know, shampoo, soap, lotion, deodorant, toothpaste, anything that you need. And again, not only do we have those resources, we also have a clothing, you know, some clothes, you know, drawers will have some clothes. If you're hungry, a lot of times, if you're hungry, we will have bread in our office or we'll connect you with some food. So don't feel shy. Don't feel like we, you know, we're just advisors. We are more than that. We do these things because we love to help. We want to guide you and see you, as Ms. Rena said, we want to see you walk that stage in changing that number.
And even if it's not one of those items that you mentioned and there is something else that you need, come and tell us, because we will do whatever we can to help you out. So we are here to support you all the way. It's not just about let's get you registered so you can take a class. No, it's about how you doing, how's it going, do you need to talk, do you ate, whatever it is, come. And like I said, if we don't have all the answers, but we can connect you to the people that has them. So you just come and talk to us, let us know how can we help you, because that's our purpose. We're not here just because somebody told us to be. We're here because we want to be, we want to help. So again, yes, definitely, John. That's totally what we're here for.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, John and Reina. Did a fantastic job. I appreciate that. Okay, so next we have, oops, where did I go? Let me see if I can move this out of the way. Okay. Next we have, we're going to introduce to our special guest who once came to us in the same shoes you find yourself in today. Miss Samantha Hurt is a former Lone Star College student. She graduated from Lone Star with an Associate of Arts in Teaching in the spring of 2019. She is a Phi Theta Kappa alumni, and she is graduating this December from University of Houston downtown with a bachelor's degree in education as an ESL teacher. Please, let's welcome Ms. Samantha Hurt. Give her a warm welcome. Thank you.
Hi, thank you all so much for asking me to be here today. I'm always eager to share my story. I always start off with, your story is the key that can unlock someone else's prison. I used to be ashamed to tell my story because it's hard to identify as a former foster adopted student. But I've learned that my childhood trauma is not my fault. So now I share my story every chance that I get. And I first started as being a part of my journey whenever I was 1 day old. My mother and my father were both addicted to drugs. So I was born with drugs in my system and I was taken immediately. And we played the back and forth game with my parents in CPS until one of my siblings died, and then my mother overdosed. And then I was placed with the forever family after being in foster care for a few years. I never knew about the waiver. And so I always thought that college was something that I would never be able to do. I ended up walking into Lone Star College North Harris a few months shy of the age limit for the waiver. And so consequently, I have been paying for college myself. I started at Lone Star and I found the resources there to be amazing. I found myself in the advisor's offices all the time, asking many questions and looking for guidance, and I found guidance. I joined Phi Theta Kappa, and then I decided that Lone Star College needed a student organization where people like me could come and feel safe to talk and find resources. So with the help of Phi Theta Kappa, I helped charter the Safe Student Organization. We wrote the Constitution and we did all of the things that were necessary to get it started. So if you have that on your campus, I urge you to please, reach out, go to a meeting. You don't have to identify. You can go and sit and see what there's to offer. I'm not sure if they're meeting face-to-face, but I know there's online meetings. And as always, you can connect with Ms. Tippett or Ms. John Celestine Lakin, and they will help you figure out what's on your campus. But it's always important to join student organizations. It may not seem like it, but it really is. And it helps you find like-minded people in your community and within school that you can lean on and work with. And sometimes those people know resources that you don't. And I urge you to also accept help. Don't suffer if you don't have to. It may seem like it's hard to ask for help or to accept that help, but once you do, it becomes easier. And share your story. I shared my story all the time and I've earned scholarships. like the Coca-Cola scholarship. I've been named a Coca-Cola Bronze Scholar. I've gotten scholarships through Lone Star that have helped me pay for college. So I urge you to do that. And just remember, you're not in this alone, and your childhood trauma is not your fault. And I congratulate you on taking a step with coming with Lone Star. This is the best decision you could have made. Thank you.
That was heartwarming. So amazing. Yes. So amazing, our students. So thank you, Samantha, for that story. Hopefully you've inspired many of us to just continue the fight with our foster care students. Okay, so thank you so much. Next, we have our open mic. So this is a time that we will take questions from you. I know there's a few in the chat. I don't know, Raina, if you've been able to see some of those, but we do have questions in there. And if you'd like, I don't know how many questions we're going to get, but we're going to, if you can use your raise hand, which you will find it under, what is this, the reactions. You will see that banner and it will show reactions. If you can go in there and raise your hand whenever you have questions. And then Ms. Raina should be reviewing those questions in a moment. Is Ms. Raina there?
Annabelle, I don't know if they posted the questions directly to you, because on my end, I don't see any questions. This is weird.
Let me go to the chat. Okay, yes, on the chat, let's see. Okay, so we do have, let's see, somebody's raising their hand. What is this? Get me out of that. Okay, so we have, let's go ahead and I'll read the chats in a moment because I can see them. But we do have a question first from Latoya Smith. You can go ahead and I'm going to ask you to unmute. And then go ahead and ask your question.
I believe still mute. Latoya, you still mute. Oh, there you are.
Okay, yes. Hi. I just learned about this program through Lone Star, and I have about 18 credits or so. But my question is, I'm old now. I'm 37 years old. Have I aged out for this program, even though I was adopted and in foster care?
So, Drew, do you want to take that question or?
It's Latoya. Okay. So, yeah, Drew, go for it. Drew, sorry.
So you are referring to the ETV program?
Yes.
Oh,
what
yes.
Is that?
That's the education and training voucher.
Okay. What am I eligible for at my age? None of it?
Well, you may be eligible for services through Lone Star.
Okay.
I'm not sure of that. Unfortunately, yeah, the actual cutoff age for the education and training voucher is 24 years old. It ends the month of your 25th birthday.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know about this. Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to double check because I actually spoke with Miss Solis, I think is her name. Mm-hmm. I think she's housed in Austin or something, but I spoke with her and we were in the process of trying to go through the court and find my paperwork. But now I'm not going to waste my time doing that because I don't qualify for any of this.
Now, I do want to mention, if you've ever used your tuition waiver before you turn 25, you may be eligible for that tuition waiver still. That once you lock that tuition waiver in, it's good for the rest of your life.
I don't think so. I just found out about this. I never even heard of that. I don't think I am.
Hey, Latoya, so if you, do you know what campus you're going to be attending?
I'm in Kingwood.
The Kingwood? It would be wonderful for you to connect with your navigator advisor. That way we can actually, they can help you reach out to like one of those like they call them like pause worker or social worker, then you can verify if you actually had, at least like if you have the tuition waiver on file. A lot of times we have students who come in and they're in their 30s or, and maybe have taken just one class. As long as you have taken a college level class, and I think I was in a meeting just a few months ago where they said, even if you didn't pass the class, but it was college level, it was a remedial class, but you had a D, that's considered as a passing grade, you might be still eligible. So you'll be able to use your tuition waiver. Unfortunately, you're not going to be eligible for ETV, the $12,000, but at least you have free education for life, unlimited.
So call the advisor, correct?
Call the advisor, but also I think Mr. Melton provided that number from Miss Alina Jones. Send her, I don't know if you took a screenshot of it. You can send her an email and give her a call just to verify if you were, if you're eligible, if you have a tuition waiver on file. She will ask you for your first and last name and also your birthday, and sometimes your social as well.
Oh, okay. And then the other question I had, does this affect like financial aid? Because they did grant me that, like if I do have that waiver on file, so I don't need the financial aid if I do, right?
To answer that question, I wouldn't say you don't need it. Always take advantage of it. You get grants and so on.
See, I don't know.
Yes, if you have that unmet need, we definitely will try to do whatever it takes to fulfill that. So please don't ignore it. No, if you have been, actually, I was going to buzz in anyway to mention that if you already applied for a Pell Grant, you already qualify for it, use those funds. What we'll do is that we will look overall, once the award is posted, you can use your waiver, and in any unmet need, we'll try to fill it. Most likely they'll probably offer you loans. You're not obligated to take loans at all, but you definitely can use your grant. So yes, please use that additional funds if you do qualify for it.
Okay. All right, well, I'm done. Thank you all so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, we have Ms. Jordan Williams. Please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Hi, I am actually Jordan's mom, and we adopted him. He'll be a freshman in college this upcoming year, and we adopted him when he was 10. So I know he doesn't meet the ETV qualifications because he was adopted at 10 and not after 16. But because he was a ward of the state until we adopted him, is he eligible for the tuition waiver?
Actually, I just found this out recently, but all adopted students are eligible for that tuition waiver.
Okay,
so
perfect.
No matter what age he was adopted at, he should be eligible for that waiver.
Okay, thank you very much.
And Jordan's mom, so the thing you need to do, similar to Latoya, you just need to connect with Miss Jones, just to to have her send you the form. It will say tuition waiver, and I think nowadays, Miss Hernandez and I, we were looking at, sometimes I would say it's a K1083, something like that. You just need to reach out to her to get that form on file and then send it to the business office.
Okay, yes, I noticed on your website there were 2 documents that need to be filled out. And then I can submit those or he can submit those electronically.
Absolutely.
And what is the deadline for that submission?
Honestly, it will be like, maybe you'll have it done maybe way before school, maybe a month before school starts. So maybe start, reaching out and have that completed. As long as you have it before school starts, that's, the business office should be able to process that. But I will let maybe financial aid jumping in here too as well. But we say, because we want to have it, apply for the semester, have it like maybe a month. All my students who are new right now, they're submitting their documents. So that way we make sure that before school starts, they're good to go. There's no hiccups, there. So as soon as you receive it, go ahead and have him fill out the, it's called a state exempt form, acknowledgement form with tuition waiver.
Okay. And then I noticed on the FAFSA, the adoption eligibility, the age was 13 and he was adopted at 10. So he wouldn't meet a special need on the FAFSA unless it was financial on my husband's and mine part. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jordan's mom. Okay, next we have William Taylor.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually calling in behalf of my daughter. I actually adopted a sibling group, and that two daughters and a son. So this is the first time we're going through this and trying to make sure she does what she needs to do to get the tuition waiver and all that. Because I know when we adopted the group, we got that special clause or whatever it is in the adoption thing, because we adopted a sibling group and that. So we're just trying to find out, or if my daughter's here with me, trying to find out what really, not necessarily me, but what she needs to do to apply. Or it sounds like one, she needs to get through DPS and get the okay or the permission that say yes, she's eligible. Other than that, we're just here to learn what she needs to do.
Oh, so John, we didn't see the.
All right.
We didn't after Drew. We didn't see the presentation for Sheila. So how do we get that?
So this whole thing should be recorded.
Yeah, the whole meeting is recorded, so we'll be sharing.
Okay. Anything else then?
Mr. William, the question you had, so it's getting the tuition waiver on file for both of your children. Is that the question on how to get that?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, I know what I've seen is she needs to submit something to the services or whatever it is to get something to show that she is eligible.
Yeah, sorry about that. Ms. Latoya, would you please mute the chat? So yes, the first step is to Ms. Jones's contact information. It looks like Mr. Milton actually put it in the chat again. Go ahead and reach out to her and verify if she does have that tuition waiver on file. That will be the first step. Now, you'd also want to make sure that you apply for financial aid as well. If she's going, I tell my students this, even if you're not eligible for financial aid, even if you feel like you might not be eligible, just go ahead and fill out that form and then be told by financial aid that yes, you're not eligible. And so reach out to Ms. Alina Jones. You can also connect with the advisor, the navigator advisor on the campus where your daughter is going to be attending, and then we can help you reach out. But it's really, she has been very responsive. She will tell you if there's a tuition waiver. She would ask you. It would be great if you email her, make sure you put in your children's first and last name and their birthdays as well. So that way when she retrieves them, she can see that they're copied on that email. You can also have your children write the email, kind of looking like they're writing, but you can guide them to receive that form. The minute you receive it, go ahead and send it to the campus, the navigator advisor, or to the business office. Then they can go ahead and process that. What campus is your children are going to be attending? I think they
We're gonna be attending Tomball.
Tomball, perfect. You have a great advisor there too. So yeah, reach out to Tomball once you have those that information. Miss Mitties, you're at Tomball, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, she'll be able to process and help you out.
Okay.
I was just curious, how old were you when you were adopted?
I was 11 and my siblings were 4 and 5.
Okay, okay. Then
Yeah,
yeah,
we were actually the foster parents for 3 or 4 years before we finally were able to adopt them.
Okay, yes, you would fall into that category to where they would need to use their parent information for their FAFSA.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And next we have Felicia Demerson. So please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, first I want to say, Miss Jean, I did send the statement of agreement we read to you again. But my question is, so y'all be turning 23, and I know y'all were saying it's 25. So does that mean I will be getting it for like just 2 more semesters left, or like?
So right now, we don't have guidance past the next 3 semesters. So until the end of the summer, we don't have guidance. So I don't want to lead you the wrong way or you know, give you an answer that's not accurate. We just don't have guidance past that point. So you will be eligible for this year, but past that point, I can't give you a solid answer right now.
Okay, and the last thing is, I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, Dennis, I had to apply for financial aid for what it says for adoption or something, or I just keep the same financial aid that I have.
Could you repeat your question?
I was saying, so for the financial aid part, when say if I sign for the ETVS and after doing all that, would I have to sign like under saying for the foster or navigators financial aid, or I still just keep the financial aid that I have?
When did you apply? Are you referring to like fall, for the fall?
Yes, for the fall semester, yes, because that will be when I'm supposed to be getting for the foster and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. When you applied for financial aid, did you use your parent information?
No, I use mine because I really didn't grow with my parents.
You were what? I'm sorry.
I said I use my information because I grew up without my parents.
Okay, okay. What I need you to do, what campus are you attending?
North Harris.
Okay, I need you to reach out to that financial aid navigator. Just go to your financial aid office and reach out to that. I think it's Krista Tyler Ray, and she'll help you out with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Miss Felicia, so I do have your tuition waiver now and your sign agreement. Don't worry, I'll go ahead and have that sent to the business office to process. I'll also copy you with the financial aid representative as well. I think you're in a good standing, so don't worry. Also come to me. Miss Rena and I will be able to assist you getting the tuition waiver filed. We'll walk through the whole process of application with you. You can come on campus anytime, Monday through Thursday.
Okay, yeah. If I need to, long as one of y'all is there, yeah, I'll go.
Perfect. So we see you on campus. We're here to guide you. Anything that you need in terms of processing these things, we're here to walk you through.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any more questions? I don't see any more raised hands. Any more questions? Okay, Reina, you're next with your spin wheel. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that.
I actually have a quick question for Mr. Melton, really quick. So I just had a student coming from, I believe it's in Mississippi. She was in foster care in Mississippi.